Welcome to this episode of Cine Shows, and we are talking about the true villain. But like, in terms of what all three of these movies have in common, and like who the true villain really is. Even yesterday, I think I did a draft for this episode at one point, and then I deleted it, and I was like, well, let's just start again. I was like, let's just actually start again. Sometimes that's what I mean. I find it so hard to do episodes. You guys don't even know. Like, I sometimes find it difficult because I'm a perfectionist. I'm a bit like. Sometimes I'll be like, oh, I don't like this. I don't like how this starts. I'm about to start this all over again, and that's what I mean. That's what it felt like. I said, oh, I'm going to start it again. I've also been having what else? I'm having storage issues, but that's besides the point. I'm having storage issues. Do you know what I mean? So yes, like the next two episodes, I feel like that are in the works is Made in Chelsea, which obviously on the day that I'm recording this is the 11th, so obviously Made in Chelsea's coming on tonight. Then that episode should be with you probably either on what yeah either probably I feel like on the Monday though, so like the Monday next week. I feel. Oh yeah, no Monday. So obviously today's Monday. I mean, but on the Monday next week, you should probably have the Made in Chelsea episode, which obviously would be because obviously the last episode I spoke about I Made in Chelsea was episode 8. So obviously next week will be episode 9. But yeah, that's obviously next in the works. And then also lastly is Fleabag. So those are kind of my next twos. Plus also I have to do an episode on what was it? On my favorite dresses. So also that one. But favorite dresses part 2 because I already did part 1. I don't know. Yeah, go and listen to that. But it's because I was having a kind of what was it? I was having an issue regarding because I was like, oh yeah, the Met Gala happened, and then I was like, oh, I was gonna incorporate it to talk about Met Gala and my favorite dresses because I thought, fashion focused, duh. And then it was a bit like, oh well, the Met Gala's like weird and like it has all these issues. So I was like, I'm not gonna do that. Like I'm not going to talk about the Met Gala in that episode. So that's why um that's kind of how it messed up. Otherwise I feel like you would have had the episode sooner had I not like been in like two different places about it. Like literally it would have obviously already have been with you, I mean, but I'm saying because I have been, do you know what I mean? So I said to you guys at first storage issues, but I was also like now with the favorite dresses one, it's kind of like when we just say issues, I suppose like personal issues, maybe in terms of just yeah, so just not things working out. Just like my idea for things being like, oh yeah, I have an idea, but then again, then it gets moved around and like it's not working. But even with this, okay, I came up with this idea for this episode because it was like I was listening to, I was listening to Phantom of the Opera, and one of the opera is one of my favorite movies. Just in terms of like, yes, the storyline, the costume. What's her name? Emmy? Yeah, Emmy Rossum. Bro, Emmy Rossum. And got right, guys. Emmy Rossum was in what's it called? Oh, what's the thing called again? Shameless. Emmy was in Shameless, and I'm like, Emmy, I couldn't believe that though, to be honest. Like, I feel like obviously I watched Shameless actually after I watched Phantom of the Opera. I watched Phantom of the Opera when I was really young. Like, it was probably one of like, I was gonna say, it was one of like my earliest films, probably in my life that, really interested me about film. I mean, like, when I watched Phantom of the Opera, I was like, I love this film. I think for me, like, if I talk about like childhood for me in terms of like childhood movies that I was watching, I would say Phantom of the Opera, and I'd also say Ever After as well. So like those type of films, I was actually like I loved those. Like they were so good. But then I'm saying it's crazy to have watched watched Emmy in Final the Opera, like exactly. Then you watch her in Shameless and it's like, whoa, those are like two separate different people. It's actually so scary. They're two different separate people. Like Emmy in Emmy okay, sorry, hold on. Emmy in Shameless, of course. She's like insane, like not even insane, I mean she had so much to carry on her shoulders because of course Frank was an absolute mess and he was their dad, but he didn't really do anything for them, and then she had to handle that all by herself. Took about look exactly took after at least like I don't even know, like four, five. Like, bro, Shameless is one of the most chaotic shows ever. Like, it is one of the most chaotic shows I've ever seen. I'm literally like, how is it that, as I said with Emmy, how is it Fiona, that's her character, how could she be looking after a bunch of all her siblings? She's also, like, do you know what I mean? She's also a child. They forget that. That's what I mean. I was like, Frank and her parents, like, they forget that. We said, yes, you guys are messed up, but like, why is she getting the brunt of all this? Like, she didn't decide to have all these kids. You did. You did, and then like you straight up abandoned her and straight up left. Like, it was absolutely crazy. Okay, maybe I need to do something with my mic because I'm having I'm having technical issues. Hold on a second. Okay, sorry. Wait. I think I don't know what it is. Actually, okay, wait. It sounds better now. I was like, it sounds better now actually, but I can also hear just like a kind of like buzzing at the same time. But let's just carry on. Let's just keep going. Obviously, no, like as I said about Fiona, I think that's just crazy. And then all I'm saying is that's what I'm saying. Like Emmy, Fiona, and then Emmy and Phantom of the Opera, two different people, and it's hard to kind of wrap your head around. I mean, when you think about how versatile actors and actresses are, because it's crazy. Like people have such a huge collection. I mean, in their career, and she definitely does. I mean, you mean she's Fiona who's doing crazy stuff like, I don't know, taking drugs, and then you'll have her in Phantom Opera where she's like singing her heart out and like hitting the most highest notes. Like, that's crazy. Like hitting the most highest of notes. There, it's insane, and it's just crazy. But again, obviously, when I say with how all three of these movies have the whole idea of the true villain, is because, of course, do you know what I mean? The all three of these characters are people who are, I guess they have this narrative against them, but like it's been portrayed by society. Do you know what I mean? Society is the one that like has like wrote it in this way and like made it seem that they are evil, which they are not. Like literally, I think I wrote in my subtitle, I said all three of them need hugs. Specifically Alpha Bar. But yes, maybe because for me, even in speaking about all three of these movies, I'm like Alpha, but specifically because she's a lady. Like, I'm sorry. I said fine, Phantom, male, Frankenstein, or the creature, sorry, male. I'm like, oh, well, you know what's so interesting? When you think about the creature, you're like, gender. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. I'm just saying it's more so like, it's a question mark, more so than like, oh, like the creature is male or female. Do you know what I mean? I feel like that's what I mean. I feel like exactly because the creature is man-made, you could literally say it's either or. Of course, that's what I mean. Of course, Victor, he used all these different parts from people's bodies, and I think, well, when you see him making it in like in the movie, of course it's male body parts. But this is my whole thing. My thing is gender is a social construct. Okay, so for me, I'm like, yeah, let's not even. I don't even want to be gendering the creature. Let's not do that. That's rude. Like, I don't feel like the creature has one. You know, I don't think the creature. But for me, as I said about, how I'm saying in specific out of all three of them, I'm saying big up Elphaba, and that Elphaba needs the biggest hug. Yes, of course. And I said yes because she's a lady. I said mainly because she's a lady, and it's very unfair. The other two were like, yeah, whatever, like, but you're like, yeah, whatever. Even though actually also the creature as well, because I feel really sad for the creature when I watched Frankenstein. Yes, when I watched Frankenstein, obviously Jacob Elordi and Oscar Isaac, I said, oh my gosh, he's such a, again, I mean they, literally, no, they are so baby girl, like they are so baby girl. And I was like, how, do you know what I mean? He was navigating the world. He said the world is scary. The world is scary, the world is terrifying. He said, I want to go back. I want to go back to my creator, who's not even good, by the way. Like, this is what I mean. You guys, But having the creature being like, oh, I want to go home, actually. And it's like, I don't even have a home to go to, by the way, but I would rather go to, I'd rather go to my creator, the person who tortured me and like burned me, like exactly burned me in a in a it was a burning house. He left me in there all by myself, and I'd rather go back there than actually be amongst out here with you guys who also paint me again to be this, scary kind of person. When literally, this is what I mean. Even Frankenstein the movie, right? Remember, the creature came there. He said, "Guys, give me Victor. Like, actually, give me Victor." And they're like, "No, actually, we don't want to give you Victor." And we said, "Wait." Creature's like, "Sorry, he made me. I have words. I have words for him. I had things to say, things to get off my chest. So give him over now." It's giving, it's giving like I remember in Harry Potter. I remember when they were like, when Voldemort was like, "Give me Harry. I'll leave all of you guys alone. Give me Harry." And everyone's like, and then there's only like I think it's the Slytherins. They're like, "Yeah, give him Harry." They said, "Take him." And then obviously, what's it? McGonagall's like, "Oh, like back them up. Like, we have to take these up. They need to go in jail." Like, they need to go in jail because they're saying I can hand Harry over. But for me, I'm like, I hear that though, just a tiny bit. And I know that's crazy because I love Harry Potter, but I'm just saying, I hear it to a certain degree because what are we doing? Like, like Voldemort said, "Oh, if you give me Harry, I will not hurt you guys. Like, you'll be fine." And then obviously you guys still decided to not hand him over. I was like, what? And that's what I mean. Same with Frankenstein. Again, that's how I said. Like the creature said, "Give me Victor." And these people on the boat are like, "No, because we want to hear Victor's story." What do you mean? His story's wrong anyway. Like literally, not even like, oh, his story's wrong, but it's twisted. You know, it's twisted and it's not like, it's not factual. It's not the right side of the story, by the way. He's telling you his story, which is a bit like sprinkled on top, and then he had the cheek to obviously at the end ask for forgiveness. No. Like, actually, no. And then obviously the creature was like, "Master, I forgive you." And I said, "Oh, like, you're better than me." I said, "The creature, you're better than me. I would not be forgiving him because you made me and you didn't even love me." I was like, this is what I mean. I feel like the creature, I mean, Frankenstein making the creature, that's what I mean. Or like the one indicator, the one requirement should be that you should make me and you should love me. That's it. Like, it's not that difficult. Like, and you know what I mean? And I also feel like, again, as people who like create things and like artists and that, like, yes, you're going to make something and you're going to love it. And even if it's bad, this is what I mean. Also, I do this, I can't lie. Even if I hate something and I've made it, I'm like, bro, like, but I made you. I made you, you're mine. Like, I feel like it's okay because you belong to me. So it's all right. I'll love you in all your forms, no matter how bad that is. And bearing in mind, like, this is what I mean. Victor was so, he gave the creature so much hard love. I've also spoken about Frankenstein obviously on this show already. I think I did an episode about it because I said society makes the monster, right? So of course this is kind of similar to that, but I guess in that episode I was basically only talking about Frankenstein the movie. It was like episode 30? Like, yeah, episode 30 of the show. And I mean, we're on like 30, on like 34, 35. I can't remember, 33. Sometimes I don't like, if you guys notice, I don't like having titled, like, as in, not titled, because you always need a title. I don't like having numbered, like I guess, of the episodes. I don't really like that structure. Do you know what I mean? I want to like give as many and not even like have it as a number thing, because when you have it as a number, I guess it's like, oh, you think, okay, eventually this will end. I'm like, that's what I mean. I think that's kind of what you think where it leads up to, even though I know that people who are on, I don't know, their 100th and something episode, like, I know that, like, think of, I don't know, Upstairs Neighbors, they're on like I don't even know, but they are on like at least 100 or something like that. But for me, I still think like the number concept for me is just a bit like no. I was like, I'm just gonna do whatever, and I'm just gonna do me. Do you know what I mean? I'm just gonna do me. But like, obviously, yes, that's the I spoke about that movie, but obviously, I feel like that episode and this one are quite similar in that way. But obviously, we're like, I guess we are widening in it. I mean, as in the way that like it was just Frankenstein before, but now it's also Wicked and Phantom of the Opera. And I mean both of those two also, do you know what I mean? Again, this is what I mean. I said all three movies both have this, one indicator anyway of the fact that there's one person at the forefront of said movie, or do you know what I mean, of said story, and they are making out the villain when in fact, do you know what I mean, we know who the villain is. Like if we even okay, I feel like I've made my own focus so far has been Frankenstein. I touched on Phantom of the Opera a little bit, but we're gonna go in out on each face anyway. But of course, back to Frankenstein. Of course, we would say the true villain, anyways, is Victor. But like, okay, wait, but is Victor, as I said, is Victor and is also society. I meant in the way that when I was thinking of this episode again, it's like all three again have that, society also are to blame. But again, I feel like obviously with Frankenstein anyway, like Victor also has this. Yes, he also has a part to play, anyways, because this is what I mean. Like I said just a few moments ago, like Victor made the creature, and he didn't, he didn't love him. Like, do you know what I mean? Or he didn't love them. Sorry, like as in, yes, I'm still sticking with the gendering thing. I still just think like that's not right. Do you know what I mean? And in terms of and then also like for me when I was watching Rexstein as well, like I just found it weird because he didn't seem to give the creature, yeah, any time to really take in his surroundings, understand that he is of the world. Do you know what I mean? Like, hello, we all need a few minutes. Do you know what I mean? I think, it's interesting because it does make you think about, I guess, evolution and how birth works. And like, even us, I guess, as humans, yes, even us, like when we're born, do you know what I mean? We have to learn to walk, and we have to learn to crawl, and we have to do all this stuff. We have to learn to speak. And I was like, but first a minute. I was like, wait, like it's also the same, and it was the same for his upbringing too, like the creatures. I mean, Victor was wanting him to literally right, he wanted the creature to be able to say a sentence in about a day. I was like, what? That doesn't happen. And like no one even no one even asks us that of like, that's what I mean, of human beings, of like babies. Like what do you mean? The baby just got here. They're like 1 minute old. Like literally 1 minute. And like you guys might be like, oh, that's quite specific. But yes, 1 minute, because literally you just got here, so it's like you're not going to be saying anything. And then also it's like if the baby's like exactly like a newborn in its newborn stage, it's not going to be saying much either. Like I mean sometimes you see them say stuff, and bro, you don't even see the babies on TikTok, and it's like they be talking, but that's that's so different, and that's like I guess that's a rare thing. It doesn't happen all the time. So I just mean I found it just really weird. I was like, we're not gonna let people just exactly like it's walk to water kind of thing. We've always kind of people like call it that whole thing, but it's like yes, you kind of have to give them a minute. That's just how it works. But it was literally like Victor wasn't like a good parent, and this is what I mean. Um he shouldn't have been having the creature in the first place. That's what I mean. Like he wasn't somebody who could make a creation like this and love it. Which is why, obviously, when we meet Mia Goth's character, when we meet Elizabeth, we see, Elizabeth, right? When we see Elizabeth, we said she's the right person for the job, because in the way that we see how much she like loves things, and then not even just loves things, we just mean in the way that she loves like what do you call it, I guess inanimate, like those kind, yeah, like when you really love like different objects in terms of like nature, like bugs and insects. Like she was, that's literally, it was her thing, innit? She loved all of that. So we could literally tell, she would have been like a great mother to the creature. Like it would have been so easy for her to do. That's what I mean. It would have been as easy as breathing. She would have found that so easy. And she did love them. Like she actually did love the creature a lot. Because of course she wanted to save the creature from Victor. She didn't get to, but you know what I mean? She tried her best. And then also like Lydia, she tried her best. She tried to save him, and then I suppose she tried to save him the second time. And then she died. Just what I mean. Like again, that's why I say Victor really is. He really is the true villain, like I said. Like number one, it's him. But of course I know that like I said, that society plays a part in it too. We can't forget about you. Like I just mean we actually can't, because again, obviously, so if we move away from Victor, of course, like the creature obviously is all by themselves after like realizing that like Victor abandoned them. Like literally Victor abandoned them, and then they were like, oh okay, now we're outside, now we're seeing what the outside is like. He comes across the cottage like with this family, with these people, whoever they are, and then obviously he finds them and he watches them from afar. And I think he was in like their barn, like for a while when it was weird. He before he even I guess met the old man, he was in the barn, kind of sitting in there, chilling, like trying to learn their ways type thing. That's what he was doing. He was in there, he was chilling, and then obviously he was learning lots of sorts of stuff. He was, oh yeah, remember also in there, that's when he picked up actually on a lot of speech, isn't it? Exactly. Because like Victor was trying to teach him the English language, but like, do you know what I mean? He was teaching him, but like he was hitting him as well. And I was like, that's no way for anyone to learn. That's what I mean. I think tough love, again, as a concept, is so weird, because how are we going to be able to learn anything if you're shouting? Like no, like this is what I mean. How is it going to work? Because then it's just not going to work at all. Like it just doesn't make sense. So yeah, he learned. I guess he picked up the English language from them reading books. So he was, yeah. So he was kind of just I guess he was in there and just people watching. No, but like yeah, just kind of just chilling, just listening to them. And then of course, um what's it called? I think they left, and then he kind of then befriended the old man. So there we go. But obviously, when they came back, exactly when they came back was the issue, because they obviously hated him, and yeah, they tried to attack him. But yeah, no, like that's what I mean. They tried to attack him and everything like that. Then obviously the old man, because he was blind, of course. This is what I mean. And I also think because he was blind, that was very beautiful, anyways, because exactly. He was blind, and even though he was blind, because this is the thing, like the creature was like, oh, but like I think the creature was trying to be like, oh, but if you could see me, you wouldn't love me though. But then the old man was like, oh, but I can tell that you have a good and like genuine soul. Like I thought that was really beautiful. I was like, the blind man can tell that, and then we do hear that like I guess blind people have like, this is also crazy. He'll be like, blind people have great perception, even though this is the thing, they can't see. But people will be like, oh yeah, they can't, but they feel things, you know what I mean? And they feel like emotions and these things, all these other stuff. That's what I mean. They don't even need to see to understand. That's the main thing. And then obviously, so that's kind of what the old man was saying to the creature, and the creature obviously crying, and I was like, oh my god, he's so cute. Sorry. No, like I was like, oh my god, you poor baby. But yeah, so literally he's getting upset, and the old man was like, bro, like it's fine. It's okay. And then literally, so again, this is what I mean. It's a society thing again. So like, look at this big ass, like literally, look at this creature. He's so big. He's scary. He's terrifying. Whatever. Also remember one little thing, because actually I think I did talk about it in my draft, right? But that obviously, now that I've restarted, there we are. But I think I also mentioned Beauty and the Beast in that little draft too, because of course, do you know what I mean? It was the same thing again. Do you know what I mean? Even this is what I mean. Beauty and the Beast is also the same. Do you know what I mean? So again, and then again, but with Beauty and the Beast, because I think I was obviously trying to wrap my head around that in my draft too, in the way that in Beauty and the Beast is a bit more difficult, because yeah, it's a bit more difficult. I might have touched on it actually in the Frankenstein episode, but I just think with Beast, it's harder because he was quite cruel to society. That's why he was cursed. So it's a different element. It's a whole different thing. Like literally, it's a whole different thing. Like it's so hard to say with his. Like you can sympathize with him, but then I feel like again, like it makes it a bit difficult. You can like okay, you can sympathize, but also not sympathize at the same time because do you know what I mean? In the beginning, because I guess the retellings are both the same. I mean, so in the live action and the animated one, the retellings are both the same. That Beast was like, or he was a prince or whatever, and then obviously he would have balls, and then obviously that lady came to him because he didn't know that she was actually, like I think she was like a witch or she had these powers or whatever, but he didn't know that she was actually beautiful, and he was obviously being like, oh, go away, like, do you know what I mean? So he was doing that. So then she kind of obviously cursed him. Which oh my gosh, actually, I just thought something else, which is Beastly as well with Vanessa Hudgens, because I think Beastly is supposed to be like yes, Beastly is supposed to be like Beauty and the Beast actually. So on the topic of beasts, um I think that Beastly is supposed to be like the same kind of story from that as well. I really like Beastly actually. Shocking. I feel like maybe Beastly also would be quite of a it probably would be a guilty pleasure actually because because it's not that good. You know what I mean? It's not that good. People would obviously maybe even say that about the live action Beauty and the Beast, but I thought it was great. No, but like I did like, but I feel like people would say that like that one is. See, even when I go on Google and it says exposing the worst fairy tale retelling, Beastly 2011, I'm like, okay, yes, it was bad, but like, it's fine. No, like, I'm like, okay, like, it's okay. But no, I just think I don't know, I was gonna say, when you're younger, it's like, yes, you'll say that these things are good, even though you do know that they are bad. But it's like, I do feel like, even though this movie's not that great, it does have, like, something for you. And I won't just say, oh yeah, it's Vanessa Hudgens, because she's like a Disney star, and like we love her, she's great. But I won't just say that like that's all it's about. But I will say that, do you know what I mean? That BC is just not that bad. I meant, as like I said before, like in terms of guilty pleasure, I do think it is that though, and there's nothing wrong with a guilty pleasure, by the way. Like, just for the people listening, like I'm saying, it's not bad to have a guilty pleasure. Like, you can have it, it's fine. Like, that's what I mean. And I feel like a lot of people will be like, oh yeah, your film is a guilty pleasure, because that's what I mean in regards to what people think great cinema is. You know what I mean? Your opinion might be different, so that's my thing. I really did enjoy BC. I mean, you see when it's on here that like it says 20% on Rotten Tomatoes, and like 2.2, or even 2.2 out of 5, which is actually, do you know what I mean? If you think about it, that's quite abysmal. That is quite shocking. And then 4.3, 4.3/5 on Amazon, and then 5.5 on out of 10 out on IMDb. Like, that's not crazy. I feel like I should also, okay, I've been like screening movies recently as well, but I feel like I should screen Beastly, because that's what I mean. I don't think Beastly's that bad of a film, and I kind of want people to like it. I'm not even joking. I'm like, yes, I want people to like it. I want people to relate to it and say that they like it. Also, exactly, okay. And also, on the topic of Beastly, I also think Beastly's a bit like Beautiful Creatures as well, because I like that movie as well. And that movie stars Emmy, and also, yes, Emmy is so good in that movie. Oh my gosh, this is what I mean. I'm giving Emmy so much praise right now, but obviously Emmy's just so good in that movie. And then Jeremy Irons is also in this film too, and Emma Thompson. But I'm just saying, like, before we get sidetracked, I mean, like, though that two movies is good. But so, on the topic of Beast again, so originally Beauty and the Beast, right? I'm just saying that his one is more harder to say, just because of how he manages to get the curse. And then I think also that's how they show it in Beastly as well. Like, I'm sure the main guy from Beastly, yeah, I think he was like rude. Like, he was some type of like, was he a jock? He might have been. You know, like these teen movies, you're always like, oh yeah, he's probably a jock. He's probably some kind of mean guy. And then I guess that's kind of what they were showing to us. In kind of that's kind of what Beast's story's about. Do you know what I mean? They kind of say, oh yeah, he deserves to get cursed because he didn't really see the beauty in things. So it was a bit like, do you know what I mean? We're cursing you to be a monster because you're rude, basically. Literally, like that is what it is. Even though, like, and then I guess that kind of when you think about it, that kind of now plays a part into Phantom of the Opera and Wicked, right? Because if we think about it, and people being cursed in some way. That, as I said, that falls into play with Phantom of the Opera and Wicked because again, Elphaba's green, but Elphaba's green due to, I mean, the green thing. They talk about the green thing and they say it's like exactly. There's so many more reasons for it. I know that okay, because again, as I said, the green thing has been explained in so many adaptations of Wicked in the past. And I remember even the James Franco one, like she got green because she was jealous. Yeah, like it was down to envy. So like I remember in the James Franco one that's why, and that was Mila Kunis. So in that movie she was green because she yeah, envy got to her head, so she turned green basically. And because she wasn't always green, and she wasn't green like throughout the whole movie, anyways, because we saw like Mila Kunis. I mean, like in that movie, like exactly, like as in her normal form, like in the very beginning, and then I suppose in the Wicked that we have now, anyways, we get that Elphaba's green due to her being like obviously the wizards like the wizards. I was gonna say like her that's her dad and she's basically like his like secret child. Yeah, like literally that's the nicest way to put it. I mean, she's literally his secret child and that's basically it. But that's why she's green in the, yeah, that's kind of how they explain it, I mean, in that movie, to be fair. But I'm just saying the green thing has changed a lot. I mean, like I think it's weird that they have so many ways that they tell it because again it's weird, but still again it comes down to, like how I was just talking about Beast, it comes down to appearance and beauty. Do you know what I mean? And these elements. And then again, that obviously also ties into the creature as well. Just in terms of like what society thinks is beautiful and what society thinks is like appealing. And like exactly the idea of beauty standards and like Elphaba's green, so that means, you know what I mean, that means she should be unloved. That means, she is a monster because she's green. And then also, bro, so Final of the Opera for me, as I said in the beginning, Final of the Opera, that one makes me the maddest probably though. Because again, I spoke about even Elphaba before as well, so I think I obviously did a Wicked episode too. So I think also that's what I mean, out of all three of the movies, the only one I haven't really spoke about on here probably is Phantom of the Opera. But what I will say when it comes to Phantom of the Opera is, yeah, they were to him, and his obviously was down to, again. So when I said about the appearance and beauty thing, that's what his was down to as well. Like, do you know what I mean? He had a what do you call it? I guess a disfigurement. Yeah, had a disfigurement kind of on his face. So again, that's why he wore the mask. And do you know what I mean? And they bullied him for that though. This is what I mean. His is a whole different thing to me. I feel like out of everyone, as I said, who I've already mentioned. I mean, out of everyone, his was literally again, as I said, all to do with appearance at the end of the day, right? But I'm just saying his mainly was like, oh yeah, you have to wear this mask because people are afraid of your face. If you take your mask off, they're not gonna like you anymore. And then also my whole thing Final Opera 2 was that they had him caged up as well when he was younger. So it was a thing where like he'd been wearing a mask since he was a child. They kept him in that mask like for a really long time. I was like, this is crazy. You guys basically conditioned him anyways. That's my whole thing. I was like, you conditioned him to believe that, he wasn't beautiful and no one was ever going to love him. And that's why, do you know what I mean? It came out in the way that it did, of him wanting to what was her name? Oh, like Christine. So yes, Christine, which is Emmy's character in Phantom of the Opera. So he wanted to, I guess, kidnap her. I meant, hey, look, he wanted to kidnap her, and you guys like, oh, that makes him sound bad. And sometimes maybe if we think about these stories, I suppose they try to, what do you call it? Humanize? Yeah, humanize these characters. And there's nothing wrong with that, though. I mean, with humanizing them, because first of all, like, hello, because first of all, this is what I mean. I feel like everyone's a villain in someone's story. This is my thing too. That's what I'm saying. And even if you're not, like, that's what I mean. People will paint you as such. So this is the whole thing. Like, and when you look at Wicked, and then even the recent Wicked as well. I mean, because Wizard of Oz is wicked, like as in finding when you think about the Wicked of the Witch in Wizard of Oz, like you don't really know much about her other than the fact that she hates Glinda, and that's really it. Like, obviously, this is the thing. I've watched both. I mean, sorry, I watched the original. I meant with like so in Wizard of Oz, and then I never saw. Oh yeah, I never saw the Broadway one, but then of course now Wicked's out, so I watched that. But all I can say is, I mean, when you watch Wizard of Oz, there's not really like you give us really much of a feel as to why why the Wicked Witch is called the Wicked Witch. Like, do you know what I mean? We meet her and we're just like, oh yeah, she's the Wicked Witch. She's green, and then obviously we meet her, and then because this is the whole thing. Wizard of Oz is told through Dorothy. This is the whole thing, and that's what I find really interesting, anyways. Because when we think about the Wicked that we have now, like or when we have Wicked now, I mean, so by John, is that of course we get this whole other version, and then even remember Wicked for Good, like the second movie, it was like again, it was we still wasn't getting it from Dorothy's point of view. It was still Elphaba's. Do you know what I mean? And that was right because that's what I mean. We got Dorothy's, we got Dorothy's initial point of view in Wizard of Oz, and that was a bit weird, anyways. Because this is what I mean. There's also things that they didn't even touch on again in that movie. I mean, because this is what I mean. When I watched the second movie, Wicked for Good, I was like, it was a bit weird how they skimmed over the fact that she stole shoes. I was like, she literally stole shoes from somebody, and I found that really weird. And the person was right. The person was dead. The person was dead under a building, and they're like, okay, yes, we're going to take the shoes. But that's what I mean. I feel like in Wizard of Oz, it's super skimmed over. Do you know what I mean? And then obviously in Wicked for Good, we kind of get more of the pieces put together with the fact that that was Elphaba's sister underneath the house, and then they took her shoes because they painted her as Wicked also. Do you know what I mean? So that's what I mean. They painted her as Wicked as well, so kind of like, oh yeah, we think that she was Wicked, so we can just take her shoes because that's fine. You know what I mean? Not like, oh, not to say that, oh yeah, she's dead, because she is, but they're like, oh well, she's dead, we can just take her shoes, like, you know what I mean, like, why not? And they're like, oh yeah, we should just give him Dorothy. That's why really, now when I really think about it again, I also think after watching Wicked, I also felt like exactly Dorothy was evil too. Like, I don't care that Dorothy was whirlwind into Oz. I don't care, and that she made all these friends on the yellow brick road. I don't care about that. She's a bit weird to me. Like, yeah, she's a bit weird to me because she came there and really, she's like, right? It's a bit selfish if you think about it. Self-absorbed. But like, oh, I just want to go home. Like, and yes, I want these red shoes that don't belong to me. And I just kind of want to get out of here, really. Do you know what I mean? And they're like, oh, do you know what you need to do if you want to leave? You have to go and kill somebody. But like, do you know what I mean? But also, you're not killing them, but like, you also are at the same time. Like, you have to go and throw some hot water on them or whatever, and basically, they're going to die after that. But do you know what I mean? Don't worry about that though, because you're going to be going home though. That's the main part. Like, you're going to be going home, and that's all you should be worried about. So literally, it's like, Dorothy's weird. Dorothy and her silly dog. Like, sorry, Dorothy and her silly dog. I forget what her dog's called actually. Also, yeah, no, I forgot the dog's name. But that's what I mean. Like, I feel like, right, all the tellings, they're all so different, and it's actually like, yeah. But when you watch them exactly, by the end of it, you're a bit like, that's weird. And I think that's what I'm saying in terms of like point of views and stories. As far as they go, we're literally like, bro, like, who's lying? And everyone, this is what I mean. Everyone has a story. Everyone has one. And I suppose, I don't know. I feel like with Phantom of the Opera, literally, Phantom of the Opera is told. Well, yeah. Phantom of the Opera is told from Phantom's, the Phantom's point of view. Mean, sorry, they talk about Christine a little bit, and we see her a little bit. You know, when she's in the opera house, like doing whatever, like she's doing all that stuff. And then yeah, so she's doing all of this stuff. So obviously that's why she can't what do you call it? That yeah, that she finds the Phantom, and that obviously he teaches her music and everything like that. So there we go. But like obviously it was harder. Um yeah, I just felt like, as I said, I feel like the movie is just from his point of view, and I feel like that's basically what we get from it anyways, because I don't know if we should, I don't know, it's interesting. That's what I mean when I think about the movie now. Should we really be in like, I guess, feeling sorry for Christine, because again she was kidnapped by the Phantom, like I said. I mean, you know, but the fact of the matter is the movie does also paint it in a way that yes, he kidnapped her, but he also wanted to help her though as well. At the same time, you know, they just kind of were telling her, "Oh yeah, the Phantom's bad. Like you're going to meet this guy who like lives in the basement." Like literally, that's what they kind of made it out to be. But he was like, "Oh, I want to teach you music, and I really like your voice, and I also just want a friend at the end of the day. Like, I literally want a friend, and that's simply it. And I don't know why I should be, right? Why I should be scrutinized for that." And then, you know, he would also react to the fact that they would upset him. Like, that's what I mean. And my biggest thing was, I think, what, when him and Christine sing the point of no return, that for me was the biggest thing, because I was like, what are we doing? Like he was singing that song with Christine, and then she decided to pull his mask off, and I was like, okay, that was crazy. I was like, it was so unnecessary as well. It was so unnecessary. That's why again, for me, if we think about it in terms of like the title of the true villain, I'm literally like, fine, all of these people, right? They might have villainous ways, but they aren't the true one at the end of the day. Do you know what I mean? They do things because obviously society makes them uh react. That's what I mean. And that sounds weird for a moment. So hold on a minute. Like as in, oh yeah, you should, I guess, be a villain if the order's unkind to you. But this is the whole thing. Like that's the whole thing with villains. I mean, a lot of the time, you know, villains are right, they're made, not born. That's what I mean. It's always that question, exactly. When we always think about villains, we're like, oh yeah, villains are downright just evil. Do you know what I mean? We see that. But you do have to really look at the difference in, you know what I mean, in them being born or being made. Like, are they generally just inherently evil? Or are they evil because, you know, the world has forsaken them and has right treated them in such a bad way? Like even exactly, Elphaba's also in specific because of course, do you know what I mean, Elpha wanted to save the animals, but then they just wanted to say that because she wanted to save the animals, that means she was evil. And also because she wanted to turn away from the government, which, hey, yes, and yes, I'm saying that the Wizard of Oz and that little Maribel lady, I'm saying they are the government though, like they are the metaphor for the government, because obviously Alpha was like, well, no, I don't want to help you guys because you're actually the bad guys. So that's what I mean. You're the bad guys. So then obviously because she wanted to rebel against them, she was painted as the pariah and as the evil one. But it was like, no, you guys are the bad guys. You're lucky you just have so many people on your side, you know? So many people who can stick to your story and say, you know, that I'm the liar, but like that it's actually you guys. Like, like, oh yeah, everyone can be like, yeah, 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 like exactly, like the wizard, he's such a great guy, and the wonderful Wizard of Oz, exactly. What a guy! I said, what a guy! The wonderful Wizard of Oz, and he's not even right. We said what? He's just wonderful. but he's not a wizard. Like, take wizard out, leave wonderful if you want. That's fine. And I think them choosing Jeff Goldblum as as the wizard, I said, yeah, I loved it so much. Like, even the original guy from Wizard of Oz, he was alright, but I mean Jeff Goldblum, like, so large of life, such a big character. I said, yeah, of course, always needs to be someone like Jeff Goldblum. Of course, have another drink, my dark-eyed beauty. I was like, yeah, that is amazing. That is amazing. It was so good. But like, I just think that, do you know what I mean? I just think pull these like pull these lot, honestly. And I'm just saying, like, obviously what I just said on my last point about the fact that, right, that was there a need for Christine to pull the Phantom's mask off? No. They were having such a great sing song, such a great duet. Like, I feel like I had to rewatch Phantom of the Opera again, right? But like, they were having such a great duet, and like all the fire was around them, and then she just thought, well, do you know what? I kind of I kind of want everyone to see your face. I do, even though you told me. That's what I mean. I find that seems so weird, even though she knew he had an insecurity about it. And she has an insecurity, he has this insecurity about it, and he's always wearing his mask, and she knows this. And then she's like, well, do you know what? It's fine. I'm just going to take it off. I was like, why? Why did you do that? Generally, why did you do that? Then they get upset that he burns down the whole place and he takes her away. And I said, yeah. And then he shouts at her, I remember. He's like, why did you do that? And I said, well, yes, why did you do that? I was like, why? Why did you do that? I found that weird too. Do you know what I mean? Because I thought that was really strange. And obviously, I think, remember, because this is what I mean. It was that lady. She explained to Christine about the Phantom story, and she already told her in detail, and she just wasn't bothered, I don't think. That's what I mean. She wasn't phased. Like, they explained his backstory, why he was the way he was, isolated off from the world, you know what I mean? And he was also very sad, of course, at the ending, like, when Christine and the guy leave, he was also very sad then. And I was like, what are you guys doing? Like, he's not a bad guy. He's not a bad guy. Like, everyone just wants him to be bad. It's like, not fair. Take him with you. Take him with you. And I liked his whole little space. And I think even just yesterday, so before I recorded this, I was listening to, yes, I was listening to the soundtrack. I think I was listening to Music of the Night. Plus, also, I was listening to Masquerade the other day as well, because again, yeah, two for two. I like that song. Or actually, sorry, my big three from the Phantom of the Opera soundtrack is, uh, what's it? Yeah, All I Ask of You, Music of the Night, and Masquerade. But then probably, and then when we say honorable mention, it would probably be right, no, it probably would be, oh my gosh, All I Ask of You reprise. All I Ask of You reprise. Because he's like, I gave you my reason. And wait, no, wait, he was going to love you when he heard you say, Christine. And he went obviously, and then he starts crying as well. Oh my gosh, I'm right. Do you know what I mean? Talking about these these characters is actually upsetting me, because I'm sorry that the world was unkind to you. You didn't deserve it. I would have looked after you, for real. I looked after you. I would have been great. Do you know what I mean? And I think that was the main thing I felt also when I finished watching Frankenstein. I was like, the creature, I would have been great to you. Do you know what I mean? And I'm sorry that you had Victor for a parent, because I wouldn't have done that. Like, do you know what I mean? If you needed time to like speak and like be a human being, I would have done that. I would have waited. I don't mind. We can sit together. I'll read you a book. Like, it don't matter. I'm not gonna pressure you. It's actually fine. You can take your time. Like, I will wait. You know what I mean? But like, yeah, Victor wasn't working. He was not waiting around. But I think anyways, because I will say about Victor, obviously I vibe with his ace because of his upbringing and the fact that he had his dad as a teacher, and his dad was also rough with him. Do you know what I mean? Like, he would get beats from his father, so that's what I mean. So yeah, but that's my whole thing why I said he shouldn't have made the freak creature in the first place, because do you know what I mean? You were already brought up like yourself, without love. So of course it was going to be the exact same thing. And that's not to say though that people can't do that. As in, people can't break out of, I guess, what do you call it? toxic traits. It's not to say that that's not true, but do you know what I mean? I feel like Victor, he didn't even want to try. You know what I mean? As in, he didn't want to. Like, he knew that, yes, that was his upbringing and it was super tough for him. So he was literally just like, oh, well, you know what? He's like, oh, yeah, I'm just gonna do what was done to me. That's what I'm saying. They literally, they do that all the time. It's like, I'm gonna do what's done to me because why not? And even if you think about the Beast as well, back to Beast actually, because I'm about to wrap up actually. So if you think about the Beast as well, he decided to let Belle go, even when, oh, even when everyone was at his door and they were attacking him. Okay, he was like, okay, he's like, and then obviously them not all like, the creatures. They're like, why did you let her go? And he's like, well, because I love her. He said, I love her and I wanted her to go. I said, oh, that's so sweet. And then it's like, yeah, fine. He needed like a chance to, I guess, have a redemption, as in redemption arc, because that's what I mean. He was obviously made as this beast, and then obviously then he decided to see better in his ways. But hey, do you know what I mean? Maybe, as I say, maybe we all need something like that. You know, a little something to make us see things, you know. And also I will say, now from away from the like fictional characters, I will say in reality, right, in real life, bro, I was gonna say the true villain is wait for it, the true villain the true villain is, as I said, no, actually, I do think these creatures, as in these stories, I mean, they do align to real life too, but in the way that, like, as I said in the very beginning, is that the true villain is, yeah, it's society. But then, like I said, because obviously I just also touched on like the government, and I meant in terms of like wicked. I mean, so I will say that like right, it's society and it's also government. Because for me, I don't want to put the whole blame onto us, though. I mean, as people, I don't put the whole blame onto us because I mean, right, we have the power to villainize people, but only when it's right though. Only when it's right. That's what I mean. These stories though, that's what I'm saying. These people be villainizing these people just for the fun of it. And they're all sheep as well. That's my main thing. Literally, they are actually all sheep. That's what these stories also that tell it about as well. They literally tell you everyone's a sheep and like everyone just listens. Do you know what I mean? Like literally, like Oz as a village. I'm like, yeah, no one else, they don't really all have like a difference in opinion, you know what I mean? They literally all follow the same tune. That's what I mean. They okay, even it's like, was it no one mourns the wicked, a song like that. They were all singing a song about a person dying, and then they all just joined in together. Like it was so easy for them to do. And then this is what I mean when I say about, oh, with reality, I'm just talking about the fact that because this makes me think about, of course, the Charlie Kirk thing, right? And everyone was using the no one mourns the wicked, and then my whole thing is that that was fitting though. Do you know what I mean? That's the only difference. That was fitting. When it was Elf, but that didn't make any sense. Do you know what I mean? Everyone was just deciding to go with one thing that they heard from someone, when the whole fact of the matter is with Charlie anyways, it was a thing where like we were seeing Charlie say crazy things on a daily, and you know what I mean, all the interviews were there and like you could literally see it, and it was just crazy, and people were like, well, you shouldn't say that about him, he was a human being, why are you doing that? Do you know what I mean? I found that so weird. Do you know what I mean? And I felt like now that's where I've got to the fact that I wanted to talk about real life, because I was like, yes, I am talking about fictional characters, and of course, on the show, it's all commentaries, at the end of the day. But all I'm saying is we have to also go back to real life at the end of the day, because that's where we're at. Do you know what I mean? That's where we're at. That's where we're living. We have to be honest and talk about these things because it's actually crazy. But no, that's why I'm saying, like, that's what I'm saying. Their one is crazy because how are you going to sing a song and everyone's going to join in? And it's like, you guys don't even know, like, do you know what I mean? And then that's why Glinda obviously chimes in because they're like, oh, Glinda, you were friends with Alpha. And Glinda's like, well, let me tell you about Alpha, bro. Like, she found out she was born green. Um, she also, exactly, she was born from an affair, and also her dad doesn't love her, her family they don't really care about her at all. So we're just trying to set the scene here. That's what I mean. That's what Kendall is doing. We're gonna set the scene for you, and then hold on, then you'll be like, wait, okay. But then none of them did that. They were like, oh, like, okay. Anyways, they were like, anyway, she's there. And I was like, okay, cool. That's crazy. But anyways, thank you so much for listening. And gosh, golly me, villains, eh? I'll see you in the next one.